15, and you get a much bigger net than you do with that one. So, but this you wouldn't necessarily want in your ear. Okay, so we're going to start off, and we're starting off in the center, and then each time we're kind of losing one. So we're going to go down here, and then we're going to come back up, and then we're going to go down and up and down and up, and then we'll come back to the other side and do the same. There are different ways of doing netting. You can do it horizontal. That's fine. You can do it any way you like. This is it's called horizontal because normally that would go horizontally across your wrist to make a bracelet. So it's called horizontal netting. We're kind of doing it vertically, but you're working along that plane. So for this bit here, we're going to start with this one here. And we want 9 of these, 9 of the 15s. So I've put a stopper bead on. So I've got any colour stopper bead. So you thread your bead on, then thread through it again, and that just stops the beads falling off. Then I'm going to start 1 15, 2 11s, 1 15, 2 11s, 1 15. 2 11s until you've got 9 of your 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 come on 7 8 Okay, it's amazing how you think, oh, that's going to be long, but it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this is the bit we want to stop at. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So one more set of 2 and 1. Okay, so now we've got our first set. We want to do this little bit round here, and then we're going to come back up. So we actually want that side, and that side. So now as you can see, this is kind of made up of triangles, of diamond shapes. So we now want to start making the diamonds. So we're going to go, we want two 11s and a 15, 2 11s and a 15, 2 11s, and then we're coming back to this 15 here. So we've got 1, which is this one, 2 3 4. So you always want 4 corners. So we're going to have 2 1 2. So that's 1 2 3, and then we're going to come back to this one. So we want our 4th one and our 2 on there, and then we're going to miss that one and go in through this second one. Don't drop your beads off the end, Alison. 1 2, slide those down. If you slide them down, they won't drop off. And then we're going to go through that one. There we go. And pull down. So I've just put my fingers over them to hold them into place. So now we've got our first little loop. It doesn't look much like a diamond at the moment, but it will start shaping. So now we want to make these diamonds. Stop pulling. There we go. We're basically going every other. So we just want 2 15, 2 11s, a 15, 2 11s, all the way to the top. So 2 11s, 1 15, 2 11s is what I should say. And then we're going in through that 15 there. You see where you're not having to count where that bead is going to be. You automatically know because it's either a different colour, a different size, whatever. So we're going to have 2 1 2, come on, 2 1 2, Right, so we've now come back to, we're coming this way actually, so we've now got that one there, so we're actually here. So we can go around, I'm going to turn that over, there we go, just so my shepherd hook doesn't get in the way. So we're now here, so we want to go around here and finish this bit. So I'm just going to nip around there and then I can start zigzagging. So I'm going to go 2, 1. There is no right or wrong to the order you do this. You find every seed beader will do it slightly different, and you might learn one way and then take a shortcut one day and think, oh, that's all right. But each time you want to have your 4 corners, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need another bead because I've got one there, and I'm just going to pick that up and go back down through there. Okay, so now we've got that little diamond at the top of there. We're now going to come down this way and fill in this next row. There we go. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So once you, only at the ends do you necessarily need any more. So we're going to pick up this one here, and that's our 4th corner. And feed through there, pull down. Can you see it's starting to pull into shape a bit more now? It's never going to, because it's an earring, it's never going to pull completely out like you would on a bracelet, which has the weight of the clasp and things. So, but it will, as you can see there, it does hold a shape. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. There. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So now we're going to go through this one. We don't actually want, let me put that down. So we want to decrease. So we can't do a loop-de-loop up here. Now, there are ways of doing it. You can either go along there and do down that side and then keep swapping over. You can just go through this next one, come round outside it and come back through down to here. So you're kind of turning the corner. You could turn it on here, but well, I've got black thread, so I can, you might see it. I doubt you're going to see it on the real, on yours, but it's only because I've got clear. So if I skip and go straight down there, down that side, so I'm skipping, let me put that down and then you can see. I've come out of this one here, out of this 15 here. I'm then ignoring it and just going back to the one below and through to that next 15. Pull that tight. We're now onto this next row. So let's do the next row. This is the easy bit. These are great. You can use these shapes. You can make you could make a necklace from it if you wanted and do them end to end and have a load of diamonds. It's all making it a little bit different, taking what's a fairly standard stitch, a knitting stitch, and netting, not knitting. Don't knit with your seed beads. Well, you can if you want. And just giving it a slightly different flavour. Don't think, once you know the technique, don't think it's always got to be that way. When I first started, my mum taught me how to seed bead, but it was all very a certain style. So again, we're going to skip that one, go down through to that next 15 and just pull. You're getting a tiny little thread bridge across here. If anyone's that close to you that they can see that, even this black on top of the clear crystal, good luck to them. So we're going to go another 2 here, put one in, another 2 here, and we're picking up that next one. Like I said, it's so much easier, and you can do these with different size. The bracelet I've got has got 3 going up and down, but you're doing this little bit at the top of each of 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So let's just go to that one. We're nearly at the end of our diamond shape now. So we're going to feel, and you can see the natural decrease that's happening. I like turning things because I like working in a certain way, but to feed that through, it's easier for me to do it away from me than towards me, which is silly because normally I bead this way. So the last one, we're going to have 2, 1, whoops, come here, 2, and then we're going to go through here. Now this is the last of the diamond. As you can see, you're at this point here, so we want to come up to here and do the other side. So we're going to feed all the way back up through. Now on our way past, there are different ways you can attach your shepherd hook to. Oh, that's my start end. Okay, so I would just, if you want to, you can put a loop, you can attach a jump ring there, but I would just put my shepherd hook in there, in that one, like I've done there, and that's it, job's a good one. It's not going to go anywhere. So take my thread end out of the way. We're now going to go down to the next corner to start our decrease on this side, and if I do that, you can see now that it starts to take shape. So once you've done it, just tweak it so that it pulls into shape, but wait till you've done it. I would keep your tension, you don't want it too loose, you want it to hold up, so you don't want it mega tight, but I wouldn't have it sort of really slack, because you'll see gaps in it, you'll see thread coming through. So when I pull through, I just tuck it round that finger, trap it underneath there, and it just holds that thread in place while I pick up the next one, and then I can bead through. So you can see these are quite a quick project for you to do. To make a pair of earrings completely, both sides, is going to take you less than an hour. It will have taken me perhaps 20 minutes to do one, and that's stopping and explaining a bit more than you would normally. So you could certainly do them easily within an hour, which is great. It's a nice little evening project. Again, we're going to skip that one and go through to the next diamond point. Pull that down, and then we're going to go back down this way. So beautiful things to wear. You can do them multicolours, you can have patterns, you can keep them the same. It really doesn't matter. Here we go. I'm going to pull that one through. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Pull that one through. So each time you're doing it, it goes less and less. If you did this with 8 O's, you'd get quite a big statement. Now, whether they would be, stiff enough to hold their shape in your ear, I'm not sure. I think the corners would curl in. But if you think about the Swarovski used to do a sheet of crystal, and it would drape, and it was lovely. Then if you did them all out of a clear quartz, that would look amazing. So we're going to skip that one, go through to the next one. So once you've got confident with doing it using the two colours, either do clear quartz and maybe one that's slightly different. Nearly did it wrong there. 2, 1, 2, and that will give you a quite a different look and feel to it. Or maybe try an all gold one with silver. It's up to you. You'll soon find out if you're comfortable. Skip over that one and go through doing it one. But I'm lazy. I don't like counting. if I can find a way round with a marker, because effectively they're marker beads for you, and if I can find a way round doing it, then I will do. So this time I'm going to go straight back up through all the beads. Now what I would suggest is you go all the way around the outside. Now we've finished, I would go all the way around the outside with your thread. Come on. What you might find is, because we're using 15s and you've passed through a few times, you might need a size 12 needle rather than a size 10. And don't pull it, because if you pull as you're going round, you will curl it up like that. But if you don't pull it, then there you've got your earring. We're now going to go over to that bead. Now you can work round and round, or you can come out to where your start is, do 2 overhand knots. There's no tension in this, again being careful not to pull that out of shape. There's no tension in this, so there's no stress on security, if you like. Then I'm going to go through that bead and down that side. Come on. And trim off that side. And then I'm going to do something you should never do on live TV, which is thread a needle. So I'm going to take my end, because I always like to fasten it in. I never like to cut an end right by the knot, because the shorter the end of the knot, for want of a better word, I'm just going to take that through there, the shorter that distance is, the more likely it is to undo. If you leave it with a bit of a tail, that won't undo. So we're then going to get a pliers out. Whoops, there go my scissors. Chain nose, flat nose, doesn't matter. We just want to open the shepherd hook. Don't forget, don't unravel it. Do the door bit. There we go. And we're going to pop that on there. Shut that. And there you've got your earring. So that's our first project. We've got our earrings there. That's the one we've just made. So make your other one in exactly the same way. And there's your new pair of earrings coming up. So that's number 1. Okay, let's go for number 2. So I'm going to pop that one in front. Like I say, these are great, and they don't take that long. So brick stitch. Brick stitch and peyote are cousins. They do get on, Adam. So if you go top to bottom, let me go that way, top to bottom. If you're working from there going up, it's brick stitch. If you work that way, if you look at it, it looks like peyote. They are two sides or 90-degree turn to get you the same thing, for want of a better word. So let me just get my other seed beads in. Let me just pop these away. This bit is great because I just scoop all my seed beads up. I do have a scoop, but just put those away. There we go. Okay, so for this one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours. So I've gone Christmassy again. We've got the green in the middle. We don't need that many of those, so we're going to put those there. They can go on needle, out your way. They can go at the top. Okay, so we've got a green there. Then we're going to want the darker pink, which is a lovely... it doesn't matter what colours you use, pick colours that work for you. You can do these all one colour if you want. Then we've got the lighter pink. I just like an ombre. Then we're going to go white. That one's a bit of an ivory, but we're going to go white on this one. Okay, and then we've got a gold. That's an older gold, but I've got a gold. So they're a bit far apart, but there's my colour palette, which is quite close to that, but like I say, it's not exact. So I'm going to leave that one to there. So these, we're starting here. So we're starting part way through. We do this triangle. The netting, as you noticed, naturally decreased. Lovely. Brick stitch very, very much decreases naturally. But we start off with ladder stitch. So we need to create a base that we can then brick stitch from. So how we do that, we're going to do a two drop stitch here. So we want those 4 beads on to begin with. So we want 4 golds. 1, 2, 3, 4 of our gold. Slide it down. Now some people go round again. Me, as I said before, I can be a bit lazy. I'm going to do a knot. So pull it in, and you want them to be sitting square. So we're going to pull that into there. There we go. So we want 2 by 2. So we're going to pull those down there. We want to be coming out of there. Right, so we're coming out of the top. Let me fold it down. There we go. Out of the top of our 2, we want to put the next 2 in. So that's 2 whites. So I'm going to pop 2 whites on. This is a stitch. I'd call this a loop-de-loop style stitch, because you're going to pick the next 2 on and come back through here. So you're creating a loop. So all the way along here is you're creating a loop. So you're going to go up through there, and you've looped those on. Then you're going to come back down through those 2, pull those down, and then we're there. So the next 2 are the pale pink. So we're going to put those 2 on. We've come out of the bottom, so we're going to go feed it back through from the top all the time. So you kind of do that. So one way, that way, then that way, then that way. But it's always creating a loop, whichever way your thread comes out of. So move on to the pink. I'm coming up and out of the top. So I will go add my 2 dark red. 1, 2, and go back up through the bottom. Come down. They don't stand out as well as I'd hoped, but back down through those red. Pull that tight to keep it even. Don't worry if it sort of starts looking a bit zigzaggy, because you will pull it into line. So we've come out of the red. We're now at the center. We've got these green in the center, and this green is beautifully lush. So we're going to come back down through those and pull, and then we're going to go up through them. So we've done that other loop. So we now do the same. So we're going to go dark pink and through and back down. Then we've got pale pink, down and back up, and then white, up and then back down, and then we want 2 lots of the gold. So we're going to go down and back up, and then up and back down. Okay, so there's our base row. If I put that, that is basically that row there. Okay, so pretty good match. There you go, those slide over. We're now going to go, if you look, this one automatically goes in, so push it that way. So brick stitch, what is brick stitch? It's what it says on the can. If you imagine you're building a brick wall, so these are on top of each other. If that was a brick wall, it would fall over. So what we need to do is place them so that they're in the gap. So they go, let me, hang on, get that piece of paper for. So if you think we've got our beads coming like this, yeah, along, they're all supposed to be even. So what we need to do is now build there on top. So this is why it's called brick stitch. It starts to look like a brick wall, and you can see it's going to have a natural, you can make it go even, but you can see it's got a natural progression, which is why they're so fabulous for this kind of earring. Next row, which would go in that direction, but again you're going over the gap. So each time you're not going over, it's not bead over bead, it's bead over gap. Okay, so we do that until we get to the top where we're going to have an actual loop, to be fair. So that's why you're building a brick. So we need to get from there, we've just come out to the top of there. If we go straight through 2 beads, they're going to sit there. We need them to move over. So we actually pick up the bridge, the thread bridge, sort of our thread has done that over each of them, haven't we? We've kind of put a thread going across there through each of our beads. We're going to hook under that and use it. So let me take this. So we next want gold. But I first, can you see the black line there? Can I show you, Adam? Can I show that to? Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah, you can just about make out that black line, can't you? Oh, can you? Okay. Let's try it that way. Yeah, can you see that black line going across? Cool. Okay, so what we want to do is thread underneath so that our thread is coming between there. So I've actually, this is underneath the thread and I want to pull it up. So pull that tight. That is where we want our beads to sit. So we want the gold, and because we're at the end like we did for this one, we're going to have to do 2 lots. Now how I've designed this, each time we're going to have gold all the way, we're going to have white, then less pink, then less blue, and then we're at less dark pink, and then we're having just the green at the bottom. So we're actually decreasing the colours from inside. So you've always got the gold on the outside. So you always know you want 2 rows of the gold. So we're going to pick up, we've come out through there, we're going to pick up 4 of the gold at the end. Okay, now we want to come up through there and down through there. So we're going to go through the next gap along. Okay, and then that will sit like that. To reinforce it for the first one, I tend to go back round again. So I've gone just now straight across, up through that first one, and then back down through, whoops, sorry, caught my needle there, and then back down through there. Let's pull that. There we go. So now you can see how they're sitting side by side. So we're going to go through that thread bridge at the bottom again, and this is how we anchor now going along. So we're coming through the thread bridge, come here, and back up through those 2 beads. So it means it's just locked it in place. So we come back up through those 2 beads. Thank you. There. So we're now ready for the next one, which is the white. So you pick up your 2 white, and then we're going to go straight under that thread bridge. So your first one, as always, is your awkward one, and then under the thread bridge, back up through the white, both of them, Alison, there we go, and up. So we then got the pale blue, pick up your next 2 pale blue, fetch it down, feed back up through, okay, and then we've got the red, the darker pink, and to pick up those 2 through that thread bridge there, and back up. Now we haven't got anywhere for the green to go because we need to repeat that for this side. So if you look at this, you're ending up with the pink there. I've just realised what I've done with this one. This is single, I've done this one double. Doesn't matter, it's the same pattern. So instead of going up one at a time like these are, I'm going up two at a time, so we'll get a much taller bead. So let me just carry on with that. So we now need to do the 2 pink. That's force of habit because I was just doing 2. It doesn't matter, you can do 2 drop or 1 drop. It doesn't matter. All it means is you get a taller, point, triangle. Go up through the 2. So you should have the 2 lots of pink together, the 2 lots of dark pink. Pick up your next 2 light, go along, pull through. What I'll do is I'll change the number on the next one. Go back up through there. So we've got our pink. We want our white to go through there. Pass up the 2 white. And then we want our 2 lots of gold. So 2 gold, feed through. And pull up and do, that's a pink, what are you doing there? 2 gold and feed through. Okay, so we're now coming up through the last gold. Okay, you have to catch the thread bridge. If that happens and they fall off, it's because you haven't actually got underneath the thread bridge to lock it off. So we're going to go back through there and go up. Okay, so we've gone 2 by 2 and you can see you're going to get quite a tall, much taller than there if we carry on doing that. So I'm going to show you, this one was done with single. You can do it still 2 by 2, but I'm now going to drop to 1 row. So we've come up through there, we're going to go through our thread bridge to put our thread in the right position. There we go. So this time we want 1 bead at a time, so we're going up 1 at a time. So you need 2 beads, 1 up, 1 down, and then you're going to come down through that second one, and they should then sit side by side. Okay, so again, just repeat the first one to get it in the right frame of mind. When you're doing 2, they do actually sit slightly easier on the end. So we're now doing 1. So we now want our next one is a white underneath that thread bridge. Pull through, back up through the single white. Then we've got a light pink through there, back up. Now we've only got room for our 1 dark pink, is there, and back up through. So we're now in the middle. You can see how this is, you can even see the curve suddenly going, meow, it's shallowed off. So now we're back up to the pink, because the light pink, because we've got no other room. We've come to the center. So it's quite an easy progression. You can, again, you can do different patterns on these. You can, if you sit down with some graph paper, if you go online and type in brick stitch graph paper, there's loads of downloadable graph paper, and you can use that to design your own earrings and then follow it row by row. So if you want to create your own pattern, you want to do something elaborate on it, absolutely you can. Let me just get to the end of this and I will tell you how many you need. So we've now come, so this is quite steep. This will now sort of almost round off. This is great if you want to do a Santa and you do red. Do the first part in white. That creates his band for his hat, and then do all that in red. Do a little pink nose there, and then do all of these in white for his beard, and put a little pom-pom. Then you've got a Santa. So you can have great fun with these, great fun. Anyway, so we're just going to go through that thread bridge, and then I will get my little piece of paper, and while I'm doing this, they're being cheeky in there. It's just as well you can't hear. So we're starting off with 11 of your double height. That's to give that width. If you want to make it a bit wider and do a bigger diamond, you can. But I've started off with 11 across. Just so, and then if you get your brick stitch graph paper, bear in mind that that one's a double height, so you'd only go one row of that, but no, you're going to do two. And then in this bit here, you can put whatever design you like. So now we're going to do 2 of our gold again, and you can see it's a natural decliner. To speed this up, I'm going to skip the round again there because it's sitting quite nicely, and just now carry on with my white, because you can go through the sides. What will happen is that kind of kinks up a little bit, but it's not an issue really. Then I want my pale pink. Now I've run out of space for my dark pink, so I'm going to pop that through there, pick up the next one, pop that through there. So this time we've got no red or dark pink. We're going to pick up the white, so it will suddenly come to an end, shall we say, quite quickly, because each time you've got less on your row to do. So you're going to go through there, pick up the next one, and come round, then we're going to turn the corner again, so don't forget to move on your bridge. Pick up the next one. Excuse me. Pick up your next one. There we go. Then we're on white. So we're nearly there. And this is real time creating these earrings. Again, you're going to be able to do this project probably with an hour. Should be able to make a pair of earrings, an hour and a half at the tops of these, because to be fair, you've got quite a lot of tassels. We've got to do the tassels yet. You've got quite a lot of tasselage, and that can be quite time consuming. It's not going to be hours, but time consuming, because you do have to count if you want them patterned, or well, you have to count if you want them graduated. You can do them flat if you want. Another way to do them, which I've done in the past, is you can actually do the triangle at the top, but come here, there we go, pull. So you can do the bit at the top and then have these, instead of coming to a point like that, have them so that that one stays longest and these track down, and then do it in reverse, so you've got each side has a long side and then goes up on an angle, and then this one has the long side and goes up on an angle like that. They look fantastic. They're great for elongated earrings. Anyone who can wear shoulder dusters, they're perfect for doing things like that. So we're going to pick up the 2 gold again. All the time we've got these 2 golds constantly at the ends, like I say, and each time you're pulling them in. You can do these fantastic colours, and I'm looking forward to seeing what colours you all pick to do. Obviously the shepherd hooks, so the shepherd hooks are, you can't make the earrings without them, but there's not a lot of technique to using them, shall we say. So we're down to just the 2 gold here. But you do have to think about what you're doing with your seed beading. The shepherd hooks you can use with anything, with a charm, with wire, whatever medium you use. If you want earrings, you're going to use some sort of earring finding. Shepherd hooks is probably the most common these days. So can you see how that's sort of quite sharp and then shallowed in? You're almost getting it rounded. So when you're doing your Santa's hat, I would be tempted, or an elf, so if you did it in green and white stripes, you could have an elf. I would be tempted to do 2 by 2 by 2 each row, rather than doing the single, because it will give you a very tall pointy hat. Or if you wanted to do a wizard, there's nothing to stop you doing a wizard, like that. Then we got 1 of the white. We're nearly done with the colour, and then we'll do the little top bit for adding on our shepherd hook. 1 of those, and then we go through there. But have fun with these. You know, you can do different shapes. You know, once you learn brick stitch, you can have all sorts of fun with shapes and things. Where have you gone? There we go. Make sure you go through your thread, but not round the other bead. So that needs to come up through there. There we go. Pull that through. So we're now getting quite near the top. If you wanted to, you could stop there and put them together and have some sort of dicky bow. You know, you can use this for all sorts. So don't think you've got to do it to the end. If you do it this way and create a diamond, that also looks good. So again, we want the 2 golds, only a few more rows. There we go. Through there, back up, and then we'll look at getting back down to the bottom. That's our 2 gold. We have no white, so we just want 2 more gold. So 1, 2, so we've got the 4 at the top. We'll go down to 3. Come on, through there. So 2 of our gold. So on this row we'll only have 3 beads, so we go up through the middle and add our next. There we go. So now we're coming to the point. So what I've done on these is where I've just got the 2 beads, so when I turn round I'll just have the 2 beads. You could just go straight away and add 3 beads up each side and create your little loop for your earring finding. So we'll do 3 gold and then 3 gold and come. I'm still going to go under that bridge, put those together, and then we'll go back round again through all 6 beads, depending on whether you want to sort of make sure it's a definite 3 and 3. Come back down there, but you've now got your little loop that you can put your earring finding in. We want to do the tassel, so I'm going to add the earring finding before we go back down. Whoops, come here. There we go. So now we want to go and add the tassel. So we need to go back down to where we've got the ladder weave. You can either start in the middle and do the longest first, which I usually tend to do, which means you're going to have to work your thread. Either finish this one off, go round and round again, and finish that one off, which you could do, and then come down here and rejoin, which I think we'll do. Let's go back up through there. Don't forget to go through your shepherd hook as well and back down. So what you're doing is basically reinforcing the bridge. The other way you could have done it is to add some French wire through there, and that would also work and give you a little loop at the top. You want more than one thread because you've got metal on it. Like I say, it's not going to be what's the name bearing, weight bearing or anything, so you don't have to worry too much because you're not going to pull it. So once you've got to there, we can snip that off. You could, if you wanted, run it down to the sides if you wanted, but I'm going to head straight back down to here, and then I'm going to go a couple of times around the 2 red sets. So I'm going to take that up. I don't want to leave a knot on the outside because they're earrings, you'll see both sides. There's no back and front because obviously people can see you from the back. So I'm just going to go around those a few times. There we go. And then finish by coming back through that green. Now if you watch, this thread won't move. I can pull that, that isn't going anywhere. I know it's secure. I can trim that off. So I've got a little aide-memoire. This has got 30 of the green, 3 of the dark pink, 3 of the light pink, 3 of the white. Then we go to 24 of the pink, 3 pale pink, 3 white. Then we go to is that right? I've missed one. 20, I think, of the white with no pink, and then we got those 2. So you can do this to whatever length you want. That's what I've done to graduate it. So on the first one I've got red, white, green, pink, pale pink and white, and then because I've got rid of the green, I've got the pink up there, then the pale pink and white. Get rid of that pink, then I've got the pale pink and the white, then just the white, and then finish with those. Okay, so you can add however many you like to it, and it's fine. So what we need to do is we need to feed on 30 of the green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can understand why this is a bit time consuming. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm going to stop at 20 only because I'm conscious of the time. So this will be a shorter tassel. Then I want 3, so we're going to graduate again. 3 of the dark, 3 of the pale pink, 3 of the white, and then we're going to do a little picot edge with the gold. So we've got a slightly elongated one, so I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the gold beads and then go back up through the white. So I'm going to slide those down, come down here, and then you're going to go all the way back up through those beads. Come on, and back up through those. And then when you get to the top, you're going to go through the 2 ladder stitch. Now, to pull this through, hold on to the middle one, if I can find it. Hold on to that middle one, and then you're going to pull the thread through, and then you just make sure it's sitting in the right place. You don't want to pull that tight. You want to leave it, but you don't want it to sort of be gappy. So you pull that through, then we're going to go down to the next one, and you carry on doing your next set. If you find when you're doing the next one that pulls, all you've got to do is to slip back through one of those just to lock the thread into place. So you can do a little loop-de-loop there to lock it into thread, then you move your next one, then your next one, then your next one until you've finished, and graduate them to however many you want to graduate. You could just leave that colour off, that will take it up 3 and give you a less of a deep one as those. And that's how you make your brick stitch with tassel, with fringe, earrings. So have fun. Do get some graph paper, have fun with the colours, have fun with different patterns. You can do it in different sizes, which is absolutely fine. For earrings, you might want to leave it at that size. But like I said, you can do, let me get him out of the way, you can actually sort of create a diamond shape. But have fun with it, play with your brick stitch, have a great time with the rest of the calendar, and enjoy your Christmas.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the JewelleryMaker app. Head over to your app store now and search JewelleryMaker and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured on today's show. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see today's bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click on the schedule button and you can go back 7 days to watch and shop, and you can also see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with all the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking for our social media pages.